Hey guys, it's your bro Dale, or that Forex Kid on TradingView. I'm just gonna be speaking today on Otis. Uh, it's one of those apps where you now can buy shares in memorabilia, sports cards, artwork, and I'm just gonna be discussing how I use it to influence my purchases in the sports card market. So let's wait for it to load up. Right. So Otis, uh, occasionally, well, occasionally is the right word. They list sports cars for sale, and what I do is that I kind of copy them. When the sports card is affordable and I can see myself affording it, I usually buy the cards outright. So the last couple of purchases I made were from their NBA Emerging Index 15, and obviously, what happens is that Otis puts out shares and people buy shares. So in my mind, what is going to happen is, because Otis has these shares listed, the more the price appreciates on Otis, is obviously the more the price is going to appreciate for the cars. So I made sure and I got the ones that I could afford. Some of them are ridiculously priced, like the Luka Doncic cars, unbuyable. For small time investors, the guys who have money, they could buy it. But the Zion Williamson card, to pay $4,000 for a card is kind of difficult. So I ended up paying like $800 for the Donovan Mitchell Silver Prisoner. I hope that the price of that appreciates quite well, especially if shares of this index appreciates quite highly on Otis. So I'm just gonna keep picking up in this index when I see prices affordably. Uh, the cars that I can afford. I got the Lonzo Ball as well. Even though I don't really believe in his potential as much as Otis does. But it's just like it's diversification in my assets. I trade crypto, I trade stock, and I think because of how the sports card market is going, it's not a bad investment because you're seeing more and more apps like Otis popping up where they're selling shares in sports cards. So I'm just gonna keep picking up cards. That are affordable, So whatever is affordable and I can afford it and they have it, I'm gonna grab it when I can because what I notice is that Otis they will also have buyouts. Like people will offer to buy their cars out, and when they do, they make a notice to investors, and sometimes they get some really good offers. So once they sell some of their cards, obviously you're going to see the price being listed, and it's going to be like a base as to what the value of the card is. And if you end up having one of those cards, then it's going to be very valuable. And of course, also on Otis, you could also trade on Otis itself if you really believe in the value of a card. I've seen some comic books and stuff really appreciate some Pokemon cards really appreciate. Uh, so it's interesting. You can see some high price spikes. So there is money to be made on Otis. There is a lot of money to be made if you could follow along, if you could play. Look at some of the gains investors are seeing, and obviously some of the losses. But it's something that's interesting, and we're just getting started in all these things. We're just getting started. So getting involved. Getting involved, understanding how it goes, it's nothing wrong with that. To play the game, you got to get involved, and if you're afraid of losses, just use less money and really spread it out and diversify what your investments are, because now traditional investments are changing. Now we're investing in all sorts of different things, and all sorts of different things are being noted as investments because Otis has to make SEC filings because they're selling shares to investors. So this is all regulated by the SEC, and it's just going to keep getting interesting from here. The different and multiple ways you can make money. I think it's definitely great to get involved in things like this.